Judas Butler.
I've come here to lend my support.
I've come here to lend my support.
And offer my solidarity.
And offer my solidarity.
For this unprecedented display.
For this unprecedented display.
Of popular and democratic will.
Of popular and democratic will.
People have asked.
People have asked.
So what are the demands?
So what are the demands?
That all these people are making.
That all these people are making.
Either they say there are no. Either
they say
there are no demands.
There are no demands.
And that leaves your critics confused.
And that leaves your critics confused.
Or they say.
That
demands for social equality.
That demands for social equality.
That demands for economic justice.
That demands for economic justice.
Are impossible demands.
Are impossible demands.
And impossible demands are just not practical.
And impossible demands are just not practical.
But we disagree.
But we disagree.
If hope is an impossible demand,
then
we demand the impossible. If the right to shelter, food, and employment are impossible demands, then we demand the impossible. If it is impossible to demand, that those who profit, from the recession, redistribute their wealth, and cease their greed, then yes, we demand the impossible. Of course, the list of our demands is long. These are demands. For which there can be. No arbitration. We object to the monopolization of wealth. We object to making working populations disposable.
We reject making working populations disposable.
We object to the privatization of education. We believe that education must be a public good. And a public value. We oppose the expanding numbers of the poor. We rage against the banks. That push people from their homes. And the lack of health care. For unfathomable numbers. We object to economic racism. And call for its end. It matters. That as bodies. We arrive together in public. As bodies, we suffer. We require food. And shelter. And as bodies, we require one another. Independency. And desire. So this is a politics of the public body. The requirements of the body. Its movement and its voice. We would not be here. If electoral politics,
if electoral politics
we're representing
were representing
the will of the people,
the will of the people,
we sit and stand and move
we sit and stand and move
as the popular will,
as the popular will,
the one that electoral politics has forgotten and abandoned. But we are here time and again persisting enacting the phrase we the people.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judith.
Thank you, Judith.
I love you. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
I think we should roll right into a general assembly. How does everyone feel about that? We'd love it if you could stay.
We'd love it if you can stay.